Episode 2 of See You at Work Tomorrow begins with Ji-yoon having a confusing dream about Siwoo. In the dream, she invites him to her apartment for a drink. As they both reach for the bottle, their hands touch, and suddenly Siwoo kisses her. But just when the moment becomes romantic, Ji-yoon wakes up and realizes it was only a dream. She finds herself alone in her apartment and starts remembering what happened the previous night. She almost invited Siwoo upstairs for a drink, but changed her mind. She also remembers the embarrassing moment when her pants button broke after she fell, and Siwoo caught her. Meanwhile, Siwoo is also thinking about that night. He remembers asking Ji-yoon to meet him the next day, but she never gave him a proper answer. The next morning, Ji-yoon goes to a convenience store while suffering from a hangover. Unexpectedly, Siwoo appears there too. Ji-yoon becomes embarrassed because she is wearing casual boxer-style pajamas. Trying to act normal, she offers him an ice pop. However, Siwoo suddenly leaves the store after paying for his drink. Ji-yoon follows him outside to return it and sees him laughing alone. She misunderstands the situation and thinks he is laughing at her, so she gets offended and returns home with the drink. At the office, Ji-yoon starts avoiding Siwoo completely. During lunch, Ki-tae shares a rumor about Siwoo. He says Siwoo previously worked under manager Ko in the development team and reported him for accepting bribes, which supposedly helped Siwoo take his position. But surprisingly, Siwoo joins their lunch table even though he normally eats alone. Ji-yoon becomes uncomfortable and makes an excuse to leave. Later, Siwoo tries to ask Ji-yoon to meet him in the evening, but she refuses. Instead, she meets her friend Hyejin and tells her everything. Hyejin believes Siwoo is probably trying to confess his feelings, but Ji-yoon refuses to believe that. The next day, Ji-yoon continues avoiding Siwoo, but Hyejin's words keep staying in her mind. That evening, Ji-yoon goes out drinking with Ki-tae. Soon after, Siwoo arrives. It turns out Ki-tae planned the meeting. Finally, Siwoo explains the real reason he wanted to meet Ji-yoon. He wants her to join his new task force team, which is working on developing a new sphere ice refrigerator. Siwoo reveals that he was removed from the planning team, but was chosen by the president to lead this special project. He explains that he wanted to tell Ji-yoon about the team while they were drinking, but she became too drunk before he could explain. Ji-yoon admits that she does not want to change teams because she is afraid of taking a risk and failing. Siwoo accepts her decision, but asks her to keep the task force news a secret. After leaving the restaurant, Siwoo visits a repair shop owned by Young Luke, someone who seems to know him well. Siwoo admits that he was rejected by someone he likes. The next day, the company officially announces the new task force. Ki-tae explains that President Han personally told Siwoo to leave the planning team and lead this project. However, everyone wonders if this opportunity is a blessing or a hidden challenge. Meanwhile, Ji-yoon continues working on a new water dispenser with a voice assistant feature. She tests a new microphone from the development team and discovers that it works much better than the previous one. During this time, she notices Siwoo scolding another employee. The employee becomes emotional and starts crying, making Ji-yoon question Siwoo's personality. Elsewhere, Noah asks manager Ko for a day off because her sister is hospitalized. Manager Ko agrees, but transfers all her work onto Ji-yoon. Instead of visiting the hospital, Noah secretly goes to the university where her boyfriend studies. He is surprised by her sudden appearance, but they make up and spend time together. Later, after working late, Ji-yoon sees Siwoo still working alone in the office. She is impressed by his dedication. When she leaves the building, she suddenly meets Ji-yoon, her former boyfriend. He hugs her and says he missed her. He explains that his trip lasted longer than expected. Ji-yoon refuses to accept the breakup and says he cannot end things with her. A flashback shows their first meeting in 2021. After returning from Australia, Ji-yoon meets Ji-yoon at a grocery store and confesses that he likes her. He says he realized his feelings because he felt like he left something important behind. Back in the present, Ji-yoon gives him a box containing his belongings and tells him she has already moved on during those 8 months. After returning home, she notices that Ji-yoon left the box outside. She brings it back inside. The next day at work, Manager Ko tells Ji-yoon to use the old microphone instead of the new improved one. Ji-yoon argues that the new one is better, but Manager Ko refuses to listen. Later, Siwoo approaches Ji-yoon and asks what she did with the drink he bought at the convenience store. He insists she return it that evening. But this is only an excuse to talk with her privately. Siwoo tells Ji-yoon about his past with Manager Ko. When he worked under Ko, he discovered that Ko replaced a perfectly good part because he was receiving bribes. However, Siwoo could not prove it, and instead, he was forced to leave the team. Siwoo then tells Ji-yoon that he has watched her work for years. He noticed her passion, talent, and ambition. He believes she can achieve more and once again asks her to join his task force. His words leave Ji-yoon emotionally confused. Meanwhile, Noah's boyfriend takes her to the train station. Before she leaves, he tries to say they should break up, but Noah pretends she did not hear him. The next day, Noah becomes seriously sick at work. Ji-yoon tells Manager Ko that she needs to go to the hospital. Instead of showing concern, Manager Ko insults Noah and accuses her of wasting company money. Ji-yoon finally stands up against him and says his behavior is workplace harassment. Manager Ko allows Noah to leave, but gives Ji-yoon even more work. Later, she writes a resignation letter in anger, but does not send it. While looking through her notebook, she discovers Siwoo had written comments beside her ideas, praising her thoughts and encouraging her. This changes something inside Ji-yoon. The next morning, instead of going to Manager Ko, Ji-yoon walks towards Siwoo and tells him she wants to join the task force. They shake hands, but as she tries to pull away, Siwoo pulls her closer. And the episode ends with this unexpected romantic moment, leaving viewers waiting for what will happen next.